So guys, in today's video, we're going to review how I did $4,000 in just one day off one single shout out post with influencer marketing. So if you guys are interested in the whole breakdown strategy on what I recommend you guys to replicate and literally do the same so you guys can see big results like I did in this particular post with this particular influencer, I can do it over and over and over again with multiple different influencers, with multiple different stores, guys. I'm gonna break down the entire strategy that I use, what my mindset is when I'm doing influencer marketing for you guys in this whole presentation. Quick plug before we dive into the action, guys. If you guys want to join the Discord, the link is in the description. It's completely free right now. The first 500 members will have lifetime access for completely free. So get in there while you can, guys. It's completely free, like I said, for first 500 members. I don't know what you're doing if you're not, because that's a whole community of people that will be able to help you with dropshipping and whatever you need. Subscribe down below and join the family if you have not here on YouTube. And lastly, throw a thumbs up on this video because that pushes this video to more people with the YouTube algorithm. I would greatly appreciate it, guys. With that being said, let's dive into the strategy. So as you guys can see, this is a recap video from one of my videos, 4,000 a day. It's basically a recap strategy and an updated strategy. Basically the same things that I was talking about, but some different tweaks going into 2021 that you guys can really utilize. So I did have somebody basically ask me to do an updated strategy on this particular video. So that is the whole theme of this video, guys. I have a presentation for you guys, so I guarantee you're gonna learn a ton if you guys take notes and watch all the way to the end with me. So basically starting out here, before you use influencers, guys, and doing influencer marketing, you have to research the niche. Basically that's vital for your success, and that starts before even starting the store, guys. Actually doing, plotting it out, the whole idea of the store and what niche you're going to be in, how you're going to run it is really vital for your success. It's a game plan. You have to come up with a game plan, and researching the niche is super vital for your success, like I have written here, because you have to find a niche that has a ton of influencers, and most industries do. You think of fitness, the baby niche, the pet niche, there's loads of different niches, jewelry, there's so many, but basically you want to pick one that has a lot of, basically a broad audience, you know what I mean, in terms of it can be specialized, but it has a bigger appeal to a lot of different people. For example, the fitness, there's different people in there that like bodybuilding or weightlifting or calisthenics, so many different things within that same industry that you guys can sell to all those different people. I hope you guys get my drift there. So researching the actual niche, the niche is super important, because if you don't have the right niche, you're not going to have as many influencers, and that's just going to really hinder your success. And basically, if you don't pick a niche that has big influencers, especially, there's really no scalability for the bigger influencers. And as we dive into this presentation, you guys will see why that is very important. So best case scenario is a big industry with loads of influencers, tons of products to solve people's problems in that niche. So think of, with fitness, you can have back pain. Think of the back posture correctors. That's just a quick little example. There's so many different products that can help people. Now, researching influencers, as far as researching influencers and using the right ones, that is going to be vital for your success as well, because I see it far too often. People just simply I literally made a video about 5 mistakes to avoid with influencer marketing. I'll link that up in the cards here. However, when you guys are researching influencers, you have to use the right ones. If you guys use poor influencers with low engagement, it's simply just not going to work for you, and I see that too often. So I do want to touch on researching influencers. There's super important steps to take when you guys are actually choosing the influencers that you guys want to use. So best tools is an engagement rating calculator, and this has changed from the last video. I have been using tank engagement way more lately instead of flanks in the last video I did mention, so I did want to update that for you guys. Tank engagement, just type in tank, as you guys can see how it's written here, engagement rating calculator, and basically you can type in the username of the influencer and get an engagement rating. It gives you an average comment number on their posts, basically how many, on an average comment number on all of their posts, average likes, a bunch of different analytics, guys. And then follow influencers within the niche and get familiar with other influencers. Part of doing research for these influencers, some people reach out to me saying, oh, there's not enough influencers in my space. That is why I mentioned in the first slide here, picking the right niche, number one, and then actually following the influencers within the niche that you are in. And over time, if you do that and do the research about each influencer, you're gonna basically see different posts. Like influencer A may post with influencer B in a tag, maybe they're friends in real life and they post together. Boom, you need to follow influencer B, and then that just basically expands your network. Influencer B can post with influencer C. You guys can get my drift there, and it really can expand. And then, like I said, that will allow you to find more influencers in the space. That's obvious. And then basically just participating within your space and industry and niche with your brand, commenting on all their posts. And I have multiple videos on that, just basically how to really get attention. And that kind of segues us into contacting influencers. If you're not contacting at least 20 to 30 influencers daily, you're simply not doing enough, and that's probably on the lower end. I typically will aim, starting out on a new store, you need to be contacting many different influencers, like 50 a day, at least for the first week. That's gonna get you a really jump start on, number one, your competition and just overall on a new store. You definitely need to be doing a minimum of at least 20 different influencers every single day, at least trying to, guys, and that's gonna get you in the momentum of hitting up these influencers. And like I said on the last little piece here, it has a compounding effect. So, all the influencers that you hit up on week one, some of them will get back to you within a couple days, same day, next day. However, a lot of them will, respond maybe the next week. And then in the second week, all the influencers that you hit up may respond like the same kind of deal, third week. And it kind of just can have a snowball effect when you guys are actually reaching out to these influencers. I hope you guys can get my point there. Is essentially the whole premise behind all of this is just do the work, put in the energy, and take action. Obviously, response varies depending on influencers and the niche that you're in. Of course, it's going to vary from influencer to influencer on whether they get back to you the same day. But it does come down to how much energy you put into actually researching and, number one, obviously, reaching out to these influencers. And I have a couple different methods on how to do that. I've got a ton of videos on influencer marketing, so I want you guys to watch all of those. I'm going to link in the cards, like I said, a lot of great videos for you guys. But when you guys are actually reaching out to these influencers, we're going to segue into the tools for contacting. So create an Excel sheet with full of basically the influencer's name, their email, and their follower count and engagement rating. So, and then you can also make another little tab there that says if you have what method of contact that you have reached out to them. So if you've emailed them and DM'd them, if you guys watch my previous video on influencer marketing, you guys know all my basically methods when I'm actually reaching out to these influencers. I will email them. And then on iPhone settings, you can basically make your brand's email the default account on your iPhone if you have an iPhone. I mentioned that in the past video, the latest video that I did on influencer marketing. So I definitely recommend going and watching that. I break it down a little more in depth on how to do that. But essentially on your iPhone settings, you can make your brand's email the default account. So that way when you're on Instagram and hit that little email button on the influencer, basically that will pop up, number one, your brands, and then as you guys can see is go to mail, signature, and paste the phrase for contacting them. So basically your template when you're contacting these influencers, you can basically have that as your signature on your account and then make that account your default one. So then when you go on the Instagram and push email, like you guys are familiar with, all these influencers have their email, you guys can just push email, it will pop up, and then essentially you can send that right away. Just type in their name to make it personalized, and then maybe do a little shortcut phrase when you guys are actually doing the subject, reaching out to these influencers. Just a little, like I recommended in the last one, make it a quick little 3-letter phrase like HDH, something real quick, and then that will basically make a little shortcut phrase, and then that's what I do for the actual subject. So you type in HDH or whatever it is, you guys can create the phrase or the shortcut, and then the phrase will pop up right away for the actual subject line. And then I would, like I mentioned, make it personalized. Just type in their name. That's a great way to actually manually reach out to these influencers. Another great tool that I did not mention here is Gmass. That's a great mass email sender. You can send a list. I mentioned it in most of my videos on influencer marketing. So I definitely, like I said, I recommend you guys to watch all those. However, Gmass is a mass email sender where you can basically type in 50 on the free version, 50 a day, and the different emails and on one message. Okay, so real quick, my camera died, so we're gonna move on to the next slide here. Big or small influencers. Now listen guys, on a low budget, start with smaller influencers, obviously with high engagement. Like I said, tank engagement rating calculator is going to be a great, probably, you know, it's going to be your best friend essentially when researching influencers. And then also looking through their comments, making sure, number one, that they're real comments, of course, and then see their activity on their page. If the influencer posts to their story frequently, you know that they're connected with their audience. That's always a really great sign, especially because if they do post frequently to the story, when they do a story review for you of your product, essentially if they're continually posting throughout the day, their story is going to pop up at the start of the audience's feeds. Basically, if you guys are familiar with Instagram, you guys know how that works. So that is also a great sign to look for. Frequent posters, and then also work your way up to bigger influencers as time goes on. The bigger influencers are obviously generally going to yield more profit. However, they're going to cost more to work with the bigger influencers. They're just going to cost more. Just that's the name of the game, guys. Essentially, you know, the more that it costs up front, the greater yield you will typically have. Once you do the steps with finding these influencers, going through those steps, and basically, you know, just you're gonna have more experience. When you guys get more experience, you're gonna get better at doing it, and you guys are gonna be able to decipher the right from wrong when doing influencer marketing. And then especially as you continue to do posts with these influencers, if it is profitable, I say this all the time, if an influencer post is profitable once, it's going to be most likely profitable again. Try it again and again. I've said this in the past, you know, latest videos on influencer marketing here on the channel about basically, you know, like I said, the same thing there. If a post is profitable once with an influencer, do it again a third time. If it's profitable but for the third time, I typically will get them on a monthly deal. Around the third or fourth post, if it's still profitable every single time, I will get them on a monthly deal to post 4 times a month. And then basically, if you pay them up front for the month, you're going to get a far discounted rate on each post. So that's a great way. That's kind of a way to scale up an influencer, and you guys will be surprised, especially with the bigger influencers, because there's so many people in the audience. Over and over again, these posts will continually be profitable, because essentially, you know, it just comes down to this. If a person in the audience, for example, sees the post once and they don't buy, they may need to see that post 2-3 times, then those people will buy. That's a subsection of the audience that will buy, right? Of course, a lot of people will buy up front on the first post they see. And then for the second post, they'll maybe, you know, people may buy again. There's just so many different subsections in the audience that you may not be hitting on each and every single post. That's why it is important to continually do these posts if an influencer is profitable once. And then a second and a third time, I get them on a monthly deal. And that's just going to come down to you guys' experience. I talk about this all the time on the channel, and I will definitely be making more videos about this. So I encourage you guys to basically research more about influencer marketing by going on my channel here, and join the Discord as well. You guys can ask any questions that you guys have, and we'll be able to answer them in real time about influencer marketing, Facebook ads, any type of ad platform, and anything that you need to do to know essentially when you guys are running your Shopify store. Basically anything under the sun e-commerce, we're going to be able to help you. Great community of people, including myself, that can help you right away. So like I said, join that. First 500 members are free for a lifetime access, free access. After that, it will be paid. So get in while you guys can. The link is in the description and the pinned comment. With that being said, guys, let me know what you thought about this video. If I can make, I can make more strategy videos like this. Let me know if you guys were enjoying this one, what you guys learned new, what you guys want to see on the channel. And I encourage you, like I said, to check out the other videos on the channel. With that being said, guys, I'm going to wrap up this video today. Check out the description and the pinned comment, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching today.